December 2nd, 2015. Cold winter's day. I arose from my winter's nap to awaken my 5-year-old to get him ready for kindergarten, get him dressed, downstairs, breakfast. Now I'm off to go get ready for my day. Jump in the shower. 15 minutes later or so, just about 7 a.m., my wife comes into the bathroom. And she's not alone. She's not accompanied by my son. No, she's accompanied by a DEA agent and his bulletproof vest, and another one, and another one. And so my wife, completely startled, white as a ghost, has had her entire life, everything she's known, everything we've created, everything we've built, instantaneously destroyed overnight. Not even overnight. Instantaneously destroyed within an instant at 7 a.m. on December 2nd, 2015. As I exited the shower, got dressed, while the DEA agent watched me, and they began ransacking my home, startling my two daughters, who are 2 and 1, waking them up from their sleep with their guns and their bulletproof vests. I go downstairs, and as soon as I'm down there with the head agent, I am told immediately that no one will be arrested. There's no one going to be arrested today. We have warrants to perform a search and seizure of your home. My wife was allowed to leave with our 3 kids and take my son to school. As I sat there at our dining room table, and 20 or so DEA agents went through my entire house, top to bottom, ransacked it, went through every Christmas present we had ready for the kids, opened them all up, destroyed them, all to find nothing. That's right. They took the money I had in my safe. They tried to take my car. They didn't do that, thank goodness. And after about an hour or so, them destroying my home, they proceeded to take me to my office. And I joined them at my office, and they presented me with a warrant where they were allowed to search and seizure, go through my safe, take my money. And they didn't have a warrant for my vehicles, but they took them anyway. And so, on this beautiful December morning, my multi-million-dollar business that I built from nothing, with no loans, no help, no investors, was instantaneously destroyed by the Patriot Act. Whoa. And what did that do? That began my journey into the truth. Now, before we get to the journey of the truth portion of it, I've got to jump into a few more details of actually what went down to sort of set the precedent and the frame for what we're kind of experiencing today. After they proceeded to rob me of everything that I had earned, it took them an additional 9 months for them to try to get my wife to testify in front of a grand jury, my employees, my business partner at the time, retailers, anybody that I did business with. They tried to coerce them and convince them to testify against me by utilizing fear. And guess what? Nobody did. So 9 months later, oh, I forgot the whole Supreme Court part. Oh, that's a good part. So while this is all going down, during the search and seizures, the DEA decided to go hit my business partner at the time, attorney's office. And they ransacked her office and took all of her documents and everything pertaining to the case that's going on. And well, we have rights, and those rights say that you can't do that, and we have what's called attorney-client privileges. So we decided to take that case to the Supreme Court. So 9 months later, while we're awaiting the Supreme Court to hear our case on attorney-client privileges, the DEA in Jefferson County decides that it's time I turn myself in. So myself and my partner at the time, we turned ourselves in on a $1 million bond. And then I awaited a court date to have my bond reduced, because $1 million is insane. Because I didn't harm anybody, didn't hurt anybody. I was just selling a product that they didn't like. So after about 4 days, had court, went before the judge, and the assistant district attorney got up and she pled her case. Man, she pleaded good. I have never had so many false accusations, mistruths, lies, manipulations, and just darn right things that weren't right said about me ever in my lifetime. So the judge listened, and then after he listened, my attorney got up, made his statement, had some letters from family and friends. A couple people came in, made a statement, and they reduced my bond from $1 million to $250,000. And within 3 more days, I was out and back home, just in time for my middle daughter's 5th birthday. I'm sorry, 9 months. Why it took that long? It took 3 years to get through all of that. So during that bond hearing, as part of my bond condition, because I'm such a dangerous criminal, they said that I couldn't sell anything consumable. Now, my business at the time was a distribution company, and it was built on adult consumer products. All legal, all legit, all good to go. It was my livelihood. So what they first did is they came into my house with a warrant for a search and seizure using the Patriot Act. And they robbed me and bankrupted me, destroyed my business. And then, after they thought they had enough evidence, it took them almost 3 years to come up with additional evidence for them to charge us on the county level, not the state level, not the federal level. Even though the feds are the ones that took us out, they couldn't charge us on a federal case level because they wouldn't have won. They wouldn't have won on the state level. So we went to Jefferson County. My story is full of chaos, drama, disappointment, doubt, worry. And there's no better way to tell a tragedy than as a comedy. All right? We got to laugh at the things that happen to us, because ultimately, the things that happen to us benefit us in some way, somehow. And when you're going through shit, it's hard to see that. And when you're being tested, it's hard to see that. So from 2015 until 2017, almost 2018, myself and my business partner at the time, a good friend of mine, we fought for our freedom. We fought to protect everybody's attorney-client privileges across the nation. And every law that they created, every bit of legislation that they had, we followed all of it. That's why they hit the attorney, because an attorney was hired to make sure that all the rules were followed, that all the laws were being followed, that none of these things that have been set up and put into place to keep people safe and protected, none of those things were being violated. The products we were selling fit all of those to a T. We even had to sit down and have co-counsel with the prime retailer that we were working with, review all of this, review every product. We had to have every product independently tested, right? We had to go through all these steps and all these layers and all these things, right? And we did. We followed all the rules, the procedures, the steps, everything we were supposed to do. And because I followed the law, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I believe in just and fair balance treatment for everyone, equality for everyone. Because I followed all those rules, I followed all those laws, I followed all those regulations, just to make sure I was covering my ass, making sure everything was good, legit. Don't want to mess around. And what happened is the people who enforce the laws and uphold the laws and write the legislation, they play by all the dirty tricks that we're not supposed to, right? They didn't have evidence that we did anything illegal or illegitimate, so they tried to manufacture it. They threatened me, they threatened my family, they threatened my business, they destroyed my business, they threatened my employees, they threatened people I did business with, they tried to coerce them to make statements that weren't true so that they could get a signed affidavit to go against me with a grand jury. When it all came down, they started off with 173 charges. 173 charges. Life in prison is what I was facing for selling a product that they didn't like. It wasn't illegal. They didn't like it. Now, in America, we're supposed to be a free nation with a free market. And if you follow the rules, follow the regulations, and do everything you're supposed to do, you should be good to go. Right? And I did all that. They came down on us, they crushed us, they destroyed us, all over a molecule. It came to the point we fought so hard that we had evidence from the DEA forensic side that does the forensic investigations, emailing the district attorney saying, what you are charging these gentlemen with is not an illegal substance. And the district attorney's response on his email saying, I'm going to pretend I didn't get your email. We need this conviction. So instead of following the laws that they write and upholding justice, they did the exact opposite of it. Well, that really opened my eyes to what's really shaking out. Not just in Colorado, everywhere, right? So many of us, including me, were living happy, comfortable, just awesome little lives. Making good money, came out of nowhere. I was a millionaire by the time I was 30. My kids had money put away for their college, had retirement savings put away, had my own multi-million-dollar business, didn't owe any money to anybody, was debt-free, was no longer a slave to the system. And I put a product in a category that's controlled through contracts, deals, negotiation, and I became one of the top-selling best products in under 9 months in a category I never existed in. So I raised a little red flag. I like to make waves. What can I say? We're here to mix shit up. Too much of it's too boring. So I jumped in a category. I became one of the top best-selling products overnight. And because of that, oh, hold on. Everybody gotta say, well, oh, somebody got a new dog. Somebody got a new puppy. I think I could edit that out. So by the age of 30, I've broken the shackles of the system, or I think I have, right? All for them to have come in, kick our door down, basically rob us legally, because the Patriot Act, they don't use that to go against terrorists and bad people. If you research that a little bit, which I did, because I was like, what is this all about? I thought the Patriot Act was supposed to go after terrorists after 9/11, not after U.S. citizens who are selling legally approved consumer products. They've gone after dairy farmers, they've gone after cattle farmers, they've gone after all kinds of people with the Patriot Act, right? So during this process, I learned about the Patriot Act. I learned about the district attorney's office. And at one point, because I was so broke, right, I couldn't afford my attorney anymore, who was trying to go after my money they illegally searched and seized, which, by the way, when they do that, it goes into its own court case, and you're not allowed to fight for it if you're under a criminal investigation. And the only way that you get it back is if you win your criminal investigation. So they bankrupt you, they take your money, and they expect you to defend yourself. Well, I ended up with a public defender, 2 of them. They were really nice people. And during this process, I'm highlighting to them how what they're doing is wrong, what they're doing is corrupt, how they're doing it is corrupt. They had illegal wiretaps, they had illegal information, they had false statements, they had manufactured information, they convinced the main retailer to go ahead and turn on us for $2 million. You give us $2 million, we'll drop you out of the case, we'll throw all the blame on these fucking guys, they're nobody, we'll eat them alive, right? So that happened, right? Lost all my friends. Well, it cleared out the ones that I thought weren't friends, and it actually made the friends that were friends actually stand out and appear, right? True friends. And so, as I was having my life completely destroyed, and my wife is having her life completely destroyed, and my children don't have the same things that they had before because Dad had everything taken from him, and a part of him being home is that he can't sell anything consumable. I can't even open up a lemonade stand with my kids. Right back to fucking jail. That's how dangerous of a threat that I was to them. The ones that control the system. That they were going to tie my hand, tie my feet, slit my throat, beat me and beat me and beat me, leave me there to die, and then expect me to show up to court once every couple of months for a few hours with a smile on my face. And I did. Put my best on, put a smile on my face, went in there with my head held high because I knew I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I broke no laws. I harmed no one. I violated no one. Right? But what did it show me? It showed me that the system that we've been born into, bred into, that our parents have upheld, that we've upheld, that our grandparents helped build, it had a great foundation. And then along the way, that foundation's there. The bits and pieces of the infrastructure have been manipulated, maneuvered, changed through people's greed and ego of self-servingness, right? Again, we had the evidence stating that what we were doing was not illegal, and the DA's response of, well, we're gonna pretend we didn't get that email because we just need the conviction. Fuck these guys, fuck their families, fuck their lives. They don't give two shits. All they care about is what they want. They want to push a narrative. They want to drive conviction so that, oh, we're doing a good job keeping people safe. They're doing a good job keeping people safe. I sat in that courtroom for years waiting to have my day in court, of which neither of us got. They fought, or we fought. They tried every dirty trick, and we fought, all the way up until the end when the judge was like, nah, I can't look at that evidence. Nope. Can't allow that evidence to be admissible in court. No, because then that does all the bullshit and you guys can go free, right? And I'm not going to hang my hat on that. No. What it came down to was go to a jury trial, a jury of your peers, right? Who are completely clueless, completely manipulated through the media. Because I didn't even mention the media part. Oh yeah, while I was sitting in jail and everybody's looking at me like I'm an undercover cop because I'm too pretty to be in there, right? They're all looking at me like I'm an undercover cop. Finally, my face and my partner's face is all over the news. We're in there with $1 million bonds, and they turn around and look at us like, whoa, right? Because most of the people that are sitting in there, they're sitting in on our petty shit. Completely petty bullshit created by the system to trap people. I watch people give their lives away out of fear. Fear that they would go to jail for this long. Fear of prison. Fear of losing this or fear of losing that. And I had to face all those fears, and my wife had to face all those fears, and I had to keep my kids completely in the dark of all of this. And the thought of losing their father, insane, right? Hey kids, you might lose your dad today. Don't know if you will or not. His dad's going to court. Don't know what's going to happen. I couldn't put that in their minds. Got to protect my kids. So my wife and I fought and fought and fought. And at the end, it was either go to a jury trial and lose because the media has put this false information and ideas in people's heads. People are clueless to the truth. They don't know anything about molecules. They don't know anything about human biology. They don't know anything about so many things I've learned about, right? Because the general public doesn't know these things, and the media is able to put out information to mislead their perception, right? Court of public appeal. We were guilty before we even had a chance to have a trial, right? So at the end it was go to trial, lose, go to prison for 7 to 10 years. If you're lucky, depends on how fast the wheels of justice are moving, and then win on an appeal, right? Lose 7 to 10 years of my life fighting over a molecule of which I was legally allowed to sell, right? Or go to jail for 7 to 10 years and win on an appeal, or take a deal, go home, raise my family. So my partner and I rode all the way through that storm together. Not either one of us rolled over and snitched on the other one like they want you to do. And they came at us both hard. Oh, they tried every dirty trick to try to get us to snitch, trying to get us to roll on each other. And we didn't. We stood our ground. We fought for what we believed in. And everyone around us who was happy to take the money when it was rolling, all tucked tail and ran like cowards, right? So it showed me how the system works. It showed me who the system looks out for. It showed me how it's built. It showed me how it's manipulated. And it showed me every level of how people are coerced through their emotions and misunderstandings and miseducation. You're not taught the Constitution in school because they don't want you to know your rights. They don't want you to know your rights because if you know your rights, you can defend yourself. I learned all about my rights. I learned all about how my rights were violated. And then I learned all about how there ain't shit you can fucking do about it. This has been a slow progression over time to take away the rights and the freedoms of the American citizen. And if they can do that here, the whole world falls. Now, I felt compelled to come on here and share my story today because a lot of what I share sounds a little fucking crazy. Sounds a little out there. It's about my story. And like I said in my video yesterday, we're all the heroes here. And every one of our stories is important and valid, right? We're all part of this symphony, this universe, right? And every one of our stories is important. And some of us chose the roads less traveled. Some of us chose to learn things the hard way, right? But what I've learned, I can then share with you. I'm a witness. So God steps in and says, boom, you can do better. I know you can. You don't serve this system. This system doesn't serve you, and it doesn't. Chews up everybody, spits them out. We're all numbers. We're all pieces of paper. And at the moment you die, you're replaced. That's not the society we need to build. We need to uphold and appreciate everyone, value everyone. And until next time, peace.